Hey guys, today we're going to be building a water dam. Like always, thank you so much for all the comments and thank you so much for all the support. You can leave your comments down below if you want me to build anything that you want, and I will check the comments, and if there's enough people telling me to do it, then I will definitely do it and give you a huge shout out. So today we're going to be building a water dam like I said, and first I had to actually build these two little mountains. Like, this is not natural terrain. I spent about half an hour getting that right, and I didn't want to put that into this little how-to video because that will be very long and tedious, and I just wanted to focus on the dam itself. It's gonna look really cool. It's actually quite simple. Like, you can make this very difficult, but the way I did it, it actually turned out to be pretty simple, and you can do this within, I would say, about 40 minutes if you know what you're doing. And I think I was done in like 45 minutes, so it's quite cool. So I decided I wanted to have about 3 gates that would open where the water would flow through, which would be pretty insane. So first I had to obviously divide this evenly, and I had some trouble with this because first I actually had a mistake where I tried to make 4 gates instead of 3, while 3 was my obvious choice, and I didn't realize it until later on, and that's where I change up the middle point and have it actually perfectly centered, and I think it was a 10 block gap in between each gate, which looks pretty nice, and that came out really well. But anyway guys, if you are enjoying this series as much as I am, let me know down below and drop a like rating. I want to see if we can reach 200 likes. That would be amazing. Thank you so much. So before I actually wanted to build the dam itself, I wanted to put in some water so that it looked nice and I had the exact water level, and so that I could not make a mistake later on where the gates would have to be. Now these big pillars are going to be about 4 of them, which means there's 3 gates because all of them need one on the outside. So 4 pillars are going to make 3 gates. You can see those right there. So I just made a little gap there to see where the lowest point of the water would be, where it would flow out, and that is sort of where I made this bit sticking out. Now this whole pillar is going to come forward in quite a nice way. It's going to be really thick and then go down below. So it's going to be really thick pillar, and it's going to look very sturdy and nice, but because it needs to support a lot of weight. Like, these things need to hold back so much water, you have no idea how heavy that is. It's like millions of liters of water. It's insane. But I was just trying to make this nice and have it a bit of a rounded feel because I don't like this square-ish thing. I want it to be nice and round with stairs. And I actually end up changing a lot of stuff here. See, I moved it inwards, and then I decided I didn't really want to do that, and then I decided to make it higher, and there's just lots of things I was doing because, once again, this is all out of my head, and I'm not doing this for a second time. This is all the first time that I'm building these things. I'm just basically looking at a couple pictures like always, and it usually comes out quite well, at least in my opinion. So these big structures usually need maintenance and stuff, and that's why there is a staircase going down, so people can actually go down and perform maintenance on the gate or anything. There usually is an inside to these types of structures too, but I decided to not do that because it would be kind of hard to time lapse, and I didn't want to do the inside. I usually do not do the inside of these type of videos. It's usually the outside basic structure to make it look nice. So the gate, as you saw, went through a couple materials: light blue wool, then lapis lazuli block, and now iron block. And I think the iron block looked the nicest because it looks the closest to, this thing would be made out of steel, and this sort of looks like a steel gate. It looks kind of cool. So this thing, of course, needs to be supported, and it needs a lot of beams connecting to it as well to make it more sturdy. And you can see the points where it's going to rotate on the left side and on the right side. It's the full iron block, and that is where it's going to rotate up, so water on the bottom of the gate there can pass through, and the amount that you pull it up, that's how much water is going to go through. Here I'm just creating the nice little flow for the water to go down, and it's sort of like an S shape, so the top goes a little less steep, and then it goes very steep, and then less steep again. So I decided that this point where the gate is right now is that it is a fraction of a meter. It's opened, so there basically is a little 1 block gap, which is what we want right here. You can of course make it bigger or smaller depending on what you want yourself. You can make one open all the way. That would look really cool and have a huge flow of water coming through. So as you might have seen, I copied over the design on the right I did to the left, so now we have 2 pillars, or actually huge structures, and they look quite cool, but of course there's going to be 4 of them, so I'm going to copy that actually to the right side and the left side pretty soon. But first I wanted to create a little side part. So here's gonna be a super tiny window, like 2 by 3 blocks only, and then I made the staircase, which is really simple, just some stairs and blocks next to it as a little railing. And now I'm actually placing down some cobblestone walls as well, just so people don't fall in the water, because that would be quite unfortunate. And here I'm copying over everything, so this is where it actually comes alive and it's gonna look amazing. So I copied over one door to the right and one giant gate to the left. Now we have 3 of them, and I actually had to fix up the terrain down below there, which is once again made by me. This is not natural terrain, so this took me like half an hour to prepare, and I'm happy I did, because you normally don't see a way in Minecraft here, like a big river, that will be suitable for this type of build, because I really need like a wide river, and you don't see that in normal generation. So here I just placed down a little bit of walls to make it a little bit more appealing to the eye, because otherwise it would be very boring. And I copied over the other staircase on the right side. I basically flipped it and put it down below here. And I quickly had to edit that because this side was a little bit lower, so the staircase was a bit longer. Then here I had a little mistake. I actually wanted to put down quartz on top of the big gate doors. So that's what I did there. I don't know what happened, but it accidentally got deleted. Now, one of the final things I'm going to do, by the way, is put in some little details. And you just saw I'm changing up the blocks once again, which is one of the final steps to make it look insane. You know that I always do this. So that'll be shown in a second. But first I wanted to make the outside of this way more appealing and to just place down a bunch of trees. Now you can do this with / tree space big, which gives you big trees that you can place down with one click of a button, which makes everything super easy, and it adds a lot to this. You definitely want to do this all around your builds all the time. If you have like a nature build, something that is in the nature, then you always want to like put down trees or something. It makes it look so much better. So the little details I was talking about here is once again these little gaps in like a building. So you can use stairs to just make like 1 by 2 quarter gap, and then you can use them sideways to make a quarter gap in like a wall. Makes it super cool. Then the last thing I did was place down buttons. And you saw those up close, by the way, but they're just a little tiny detail. And then we're actually freaking finished, guys. This thing is finished. It looks insane. It's super simple. Actually, it's quite simple, but it looks really nice. So thank you so much for watching. If you have any ideas, post them down below. Once again, remember to leave a like rating if you enjoy these videos, and also don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more awesome stuff. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Bye bye.